Welcome to the video, everybody. I'm Destroyers Exotics, and this video is going to be about Pac-Man frogs, facts for beginners. For those of you who are subscribed to my channel, welcome back. For those of you who aren't, I really hope you enjoy this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. So let's get right on into it.
What's up, everybody? This is the South American horned frog, or what's more commonly called is the Pac-Man frog. They get that name because of their mouth. And some facts for beginners here is they actually have teeth, a row of sharp teeth actually in their gums. It's what helps them eat prey. They will definitely bite your finger if you stick it in there. They are not the most friendly frogs in the world. They do make great pets, however, but you definitely don't want to stick your finger in there. They can actually give you a pretty good bite. They pretty much just about eat anything. They will attempt to eat things bigger than them. I primarily feed mine hornworms, crickets. I also feed them pinky rats, small ones. They enjoy those as well. You definitely want to keep them in a moist environment, kind of like this. A real thick substrate, because they like to bury all the way down. A decent water bowl, but they're not great swimmers. They can actually drown, so you don't want it to be too big. He could definitely easily jump out of that. The females in this species get about 5.5 inches. The males get around 4. So they're kind of like tarantulas in that fashion. The females do get bigger than the males. And this beauty here is an albino morph. I have 2 Pac-Man frogs, this one, and I have a regular green Pac-Man frog. However, they come in lots of different morphs. In a variety of colors. So in that aspect, they don't just have to be one way or the other. And I always see a new color in a Pac-Man frog that I haven't seen before, so I find it really exciting. Let's take a look at my other one. And here's my other Pac-Man frog. Usually they come to the surface like this when they're hungry, so I'm probably going to go ahead and try and feed them in this video. This one's usually a really good eater here. And as far as housing them goes, you can house them very similar to what I have here. They don't need a huge cage because they're notoriously lazy. They're ambush predators. They don't move around a whole lot. They like to make their homes, as you can see, right next to a water source. Like I said again, you don't want that to be too deep because they can drown. They're not great swimmers. But this will do. You want a little moss, a lot of substrate, like I said, very thick, because they will bury themselves all the way down right by their water bowl usually, and then they surface and come up when they're hungry, and that's a great indicator of when to feed them, is when they come to the surface. And the light is not necessary. I use one on mine just because I feel like it has a better quality of life for them to get a very low intensity UVB and UVA light, but it's not necessary. But I do use one on mine, just like I said, for the quality of life, but you do not have to do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and feed these little guys here. Like I said, you can feed them worms, hornworms, crickets. I'm going to go ahead, mine are getting to the size now where I'm going to try and I'm going to go ahead and feed them some small pinky mice here. And I'm going to start with this one over here. He's usually the hungriest, so more than likely he's going to be very ready to perform for us here. Alrighty, I've got my little small pinky mouse here. We'll see if he takes it. You just about got it there. Oh, just about got it. Come on. Take it. Ooh, there he goes. Ooh, and he spit it back out. Alrighty. Well, he took the mouse. Sorry, it was pretty quick. He spit it back out and then he took it back in real quickly. Let's see if he's still hungry. I got a little cricket for him here. You not hungry? Huh? Ooh. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. They do eat quite a bit, especially when they get bigger. So do keep that in mind. You'll have to feed them more and more as they get older. But they're really good eaters. And it's normal, so don't get worried if your Packman frog buries itself for a week or a few days. Not a big deal. Just when they surface, that's when you want to feed them like this. And that's about how feeding them is going to go. And like I said, you don't want to pour tap water directly onto them. You want to, what I do is I put water and I pour tap water from these into these bottles here, and I let it sit for a couple of days, and the water in this thing becomes dechlorinated when you do that. And so then it becomes safe to go ahead and pour back on to the Packman frogs. And as far as the lights go, if you are to use them, I use them for about 10 hours a day. If you're in a cold climate, you can use them a little longer because it does provide warmth in the tanks and humidity as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I also hope you beginners have learned something, and these frogs can make great pets. You definitely don't want to handle them. Ooh, we got a nice little feeding clip there. You definitely don't want to handle them because the oils in your skin are not good for them. So but there's going to come some times like rehousing and other things where you have to handle them. I just recommend getting like latex gloves or something like that. That way you don't have to directly touch them with your hands. And you also want to replace, I like to replace my substrate in these things. I don't leave them for a long time. I usually leave them for about 6 months. I change it out. I think this is going to be due for change in a couple of months. On both of their cages, I'm going to go ahead and change out the substrate and the moss and all that. But as long as you keep them up, keep them straight. The substrate always needs to be wet. You need to have the humidity up. The room temperature needs to be at least between 70 and 80 degrees for these guys. Anything less, that can get dangerous. Always want to have some moss a decent water bowl, but like I said, they're not great swimmers, so don't get it too deep. And like I said, always keep the substrate moist, and your frogs will do just fine. The smaller the frog, the more frequent you want to feed them. The smaller they are, they want to feed like every day. The bigger they are, sometimes like with these guys, they'll bury themselves for a few days to a week. That's normal. So don't freak out. When they come to the surface, that's when they want to be fed. And they'll usually eat pretty good. And like I said, they do make great pets. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you on the next one, guys.